Your Outlook calendar is a great way to help organize your work week. I've set mine up to appear here on the right-hand side of my Outlook screen. I can see that today is the 17th because it's highlighted in blue. And then I have the next couple days at a glance and then next week. So I can see that I'll be teaching Zoom Level 2 in about an hour. And then I have various reminders that I've set for myself. So I like to check the number of enrollees coming up for the next day so that I can keep track of how many are attending, and then I can send out the Zoom invites and so forth. I also have a meeting with my boss tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then I'll be teaching OU Campus Tuesday at 9:30. So it gives me a really good overview of what's coming up in the next couple days. The first thing that you have to do is make sure that your calendar area is set up to show on your Outlook screen. To do that, you would go to your View tab, just click on that, and then you'll come over here to the Layout area. When you click the To-Do bar, you'll get a drop-down menu where you'll want to make sure that Calendar is checked. This will make it appear here on the right-hand side. So if I unchecked it, it would go away. So let me recheck it so it comes back. One of the things that I find really helpful about Outlook is that it gives you kind of this audio warning that you have an event about to start or that it's going to start soon. For example, I have these set to give a reminder chime 15 minutes prior to the meeting beginning. When we were on campus, I actually had it set for half an hour before if it was a meeting across campus. So that way I could pack up and then get my stuff ready for the meeting and then walk across campus and then be there on time. You get to choose how far in advance the reminder will chime. To do that, you click on the appointment. Just double click on that. And then this pop-up appears and you'll see this little reminder area. I usually like to have 15 minutes. And then that gives me a warning 15 minutes before it's supposed to start and right as it's supposed to start. If you don't want two warnings, you can just click 0 minutes and then it'll chime only right as the meeting is supposed to start. You can set it to none, but I don't recommend you do that. All right, so how do you get these appointments and meetings to appear on your calendar? If it's a meeting that somebody else sent you, you'll get an email invitation, and then when you click accept, it'll appear on your calendar. But these aren't meetings right here, these classes that I teach, these are appointments. So meetings are when either you send an invitation to someone or someone sends an invitation to you, so it involves other people. But appointments are things that you just set in your calendar on your own. For example, you could set an appointment to remind yourself to take a stretch break every day at 2 p.m. Let me show you how to put an appointment on your calendar. Right here, we kind of have the quick view area. What we want is actually the full calendar screen. So I'm going to come down to the lower left corner of my Outlook. And here, sorry about that, someone's in my meeting early. So here we have the envelope symbol, which is your mail area. But here we have the calendar symbol, and this is going to take us to the full calendar page. This is where you can add all sorts of appointments and meetings and whatnot. I usually like to look at it with a month view so that I can get the overview of the month. But you could set it to just the work week, for example, to kind of get a zoomed in view of the 5 days of the work week. Let me show you an example of making an appointment. Let me go back to month view, and I'm going to pick, here I'll do Christmas Eve. So obviously the DIAC meeting isn't happening on Christmas Eve. Here's actually a good example of how to delete something from your calendar. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to, sorry, when Outlook's live, it's going to show the incoming emails. So I'm going to delete this, delete just that one occurrence. Okay, so let's add something for here on Christmas Eve. I'm going to click on the 24th to select it, and then I'm going to come up here to the upper left, and I'm going to say new appointment. This is going to bring me my appointment pop-up. For my subject, maybe I'll say, take a stretch break. Location, my desk. And I'll set the time for 2 p.m. That's a good time to stretch. Sometimes, FYI, when you go to make an appointment, this box will be checked by default, and that makes it an all-day appointment. So you'll want to make sure to uncheck that, because if it was checked, you couldn't even click in these boxes. It won't let you change anything. So if you uncheck it, you can now click in these boxes. So I don't need a half an hour stretch break. That's the default, by the way, is that it does it in half an hour time slots. So I can click right here and then just change it to, I don't know, let's do a 10-minute stretch break. I want it to remind me, well, I don't need a reminder 15 minutes before I stretch. I want a reminder right as I need to stretch. There we go. And for recurrence, maybe I want to do this every day. So I'll click on recurrence and then I'll say, you know what, let's do it every weekday. There we go. And maybe I want to try this for 2 weeks straight, right? So we'll do ending after 10 occurrences. I'll click OK. And then starting Christmas Eve through January 6th, so obviously we'll be on break, for those 2 weeks, my Outlook will chime at me and a little reminder will pop up telling me that it's time to stretch.